Hey everyone, this is Adam. Real quick, I just want to get out a couple announcements. First of all, some of you may have noticed that we've revamped our Patreon tiers. Part of that is I wanted to also be able to include content for people that follow us on there as free members, not paid members. So one of the things we're going to start doing on there is posting maps from this show, specifically 2 Past Midnight and whatever else we do that might be audio-only content. That way it's out there. But that's going to be available for anyone who follows us on Patreon, free member, or any of the paid tiers. Also, coming up on September 25th, we're going to be recording our episode 1 of our new Patreon-only campaign of Twilight 2000, which is called Rogues of Return. The guys are going to be playing PCs that are U.S. Marines and Navy, some sort of combination of that. The live character creation we did is already up on YouTube. It's available there for the public. The live shows are going to be available for our $5 and up patrons, so they can be there in the chat or watch the live version later. Also, anyone who supports us at any level, if that's even $1, will have access to the touched up audio and video after it's recorded. So if you don't want to do $5 patron, that's fine. You can get the content once it's touched up and cleaned up for, the cost of a cup of coffee, I guess. Also, what's really cool about that is we've partnered with Serotonin Ronin Games. So he's done character artwork for us. So if you haven't seen that yet, that's on our Facebook. And also we've been posting those on our Patreon feed. So if you're interested in that, you can follow us there as a free member and at least see kind of what's going on with it. But we're pretty excited about the new campaign and the new partnership that we've been doing with Serotonin Ronin. His maps are freaking awesome. So if you would also check those out on Patreon, Serotonin Ronin Maps. That's where he is on that. But he's also offering, I think, some special deals on character portraits. So if you're interested in getting some artwork done for your characters, check him out. His maps are freaking cool. He's a really great guy to work with. Also, he's got a new RPG he's working on using the Year Zero engine called Dead Zone, which looks freaking awesome. So you should definitely check him out on Patreon. Anyway, without further ado, welcome to episode 115, Bond into Barrels. So do you guys remember basically where we ended last time, since it was a couple weeks ago?
I yelled at Murph for going to a church, and then we said, we'll see you in a day.
Yeah. Murph went to go sleep in an abandoned building nearby. Y'all were still at the church with Jeremiah's new character, Ellis, and Emmett was sleeping in a pew. And Ellis and LT were talking about other shit. And Murph was asleep in a hidey hole spot. And I think you guys were planning on meeting up the next day was the plan.
Yes.
And we could fast forward through the night if everyone's just going to be resting in those places.
Yeah.
So did we decide whether we ate and will gain anything from this, or are we malnourished?
Yeah, you guys ate because you guys had split the rations. So
that's what I thought. Okay.
Whatever the ration should be down by 3, I guess. And
that was it. I think that was it. I think I bought
food.
enough for 2 for everything down.
And like a smart ass, you gave Murph some jerky and patted him on the ass on his way out.
Hey, you guys are the ones that decided to meet at a church. I was like, that's a funny place to decide to meet. But
hey, we have been using this church as kind of like a central point of this city for the whole time we've been here.
Yep. And that's turned out well.
Yeah. I mean, everything's kind of gone well since we've entered the city.
Yeah.
Everything's been well since we started this game.
Yes, for sure. But you do know that Confucius says,
oh God,
a man who farts in church sits in his own pew. So.
I kind of want to leave that joke in with the long, awkward pause and only Brian laughing in the background.
It's fine by me.
Yeah, so Murph had talked with Jelko, and Jelko had offered to kind of smuggle you guys out past the checkpoints to get outside the city. That was kind of where we were. So we could just start off in the morning. Those of you that rested, and slept and got back 1 hit point, 1 stress. And we see the sun starting to come up over top of the, I'd say what we actually would see is Murph wakes up first, and we would see him start to wake up, and he looks out the window towards the east, and he can see the sun starting to come up behind the steeple on the church, St. Mark's, which is totally a real church in Krakow, I'm sure. It's not.
Apparently woke up to live another day.
So what is your plan, Murph? What are you going to do in the morning?
Meet up with these guys outside of the church and tell them the good news, the game plan, that Jelko is going to get us out, and that the city is essentially on lockdown at the moment. Explain the situation, tell them that the only catch is we probably have to wait a little bit because I don't think Jelko shows up there during the day, but maybe he does. And that was just he had no interest in meeting with Murph.
Oh, at the bunker?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, that would not be a shock.
All right, so in case anyone's wondering, it is now the 5th of June.
What day did this... what day did we get out of the POW camp?
April 26th.
That is the longest month and a half in recorded history.
I mean, yeah, because we recorded it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Which also means that yesterday was technically... Today is Tuesday, so yesterday was Monday. So
You ever have a case of the Mondays?
Well, yesterday was Monday. Today's Tuesday. It's Tiwas Day. So you're going to go head back over to the church, Chris?
Define back to the church. He will go in the vicinity of the church.
All right, so you go and you start headed over to the church, Chris. You get there, pretty uneventful, your travel over there. You see people kind of walking along the streets as you're on your way there. And as you're getting closer, you still see that makeshift wooden cross, the crucifix out front of the church that guy's been doing his little sermons from. And what do you want to do?
Not look at the cross. Are there any benches or anything out front or anything like that? Or how...
I'll say that there's steps. There's steps that come up to a layer, and then before
or
you get
a grass
to the
layer, like a step to a grass.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's some areas out front that you could sit at.
He will just sit there and people watch, looking away from the church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think he might take a little bit of enjoyment. Might be a little too strong of a word, but satisfy curiosity of people watching here. In a non-lethal situation.
Right,
Just
right.
to see how, the everyday people of Krakow go about their day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, as you look around, it seems like it's not as bustling, quote-unquote, as it had been. There definitely seemed to be a lot less people on the streets compared to how it had been in the days leading up to this point. There seemed to be fewer people, and they seemed to be scurrying a little bit faster. If you were to piece it together, you'd probably assume that has something to do with that disease everyone's kind of worrying about right now, and maybe they're not gathering in large groups or trying to avoid each other, stuff like that.
Based on what Jelko said about getting in and out of the city because of the disease, I'm sure he can put 2 and 2 together and be like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So people are pretty much only out for necessary foot traffic.
Yeah. And we go inside the church, and we see Emmett and Bruce and Alice kind of coming to, and you can see the father that works there. He goes, like, you can kind of see him walking off in the background. You can see some, an old woman over lighting candles and someone else sitting in the pews, and they seem to have not really bothered y'all, just hanging out there and sleeping. But what's your plan?
We've been able to refill water for the most part while being in the city without issue, or...
Sure, why not?
Okay. So I'm trying to think. I think we each had like 5 bottles. I'm trying to figure out, because getting ready to suggest a market run, and I just kind of wanted to be all on the same page with that.
Yeah, if you want to make a market run, that's fun.
Do we have anything for trade?
Yeah, I got an extra rifle at the moment, because I picked up a sniper rifle fairly recently, and I don't know that I necessarily need this hunting rifle. I got rid of shotgun already. I don't think I need to be carrying these 2 things, but I think I am going to hold on to that pistol from Valentine and get rid of this lever action and use that for enough to pretty much stock us for a few days worth of rations. Is there anything else we need? You think
I would say rations is probably the biggest thing that we need.
Yeah, we got a full stockade of water. We're fairly good on bullets. We got your pistols got bullets. Your big guns got bullets. So I think we're fairly good on that. I assume you carry the PPK and you're all good to go there, Brittany?
The PPK? No. I've not carried one of those for some time, but I could do with some more 9mm.
Ironically, I have some left because my gun got stolen. Did they steal the reloads too?
No. They only would have taken what was in it. So the one reload that was in it is what they would have taken.
I legitimately have 2 reloads for 9, and I can just hand them to them. Here, last time I was at this church, I lost this gun. And by that I mean a bunch of children stole it from me. And by that I mean they attacked me after a bar, and I didn't notice. Never mind.
That sounds unfortunate.
Oh my gosh. And you're just handing him bullets?
Wait,
Am I or am I not in your employ?
I mean...
Are we not to travel together?
I mean, yes, but does that mean that you need to be armed at the point? Look, I just don't know you.
We talked all night. I mean, I caught him up on everything. It's no big deal.
Oh my God,
we're fine.
Bruce.
Lieutenant Bruce can vouch for me.
Yeah, you guys just let me in.
All right, well, look, I hope that you can carry your own weight. I hope that I can trust you. I have been poisoned, burned, bit, skewered, filleted.
Speaking of skewers, I am hungry.
Captain, let me be very clear. I have no intention of reneging on our deal. We have made an arrangement that I will help you, and in turn you will provide me with those papers. To which I feel I'm being more than fair, since that courier was intended for me in the first place.
Yeah, he goes with us, we all do fine, and he gets the map.
To wit, at this point, you are the one extorting my favors for the intel that was intended for me. So who is to actually trust who here?
I believe it's whom.
Whom? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm actually an American playing a Brit.
I genuinely don't know if it's whom. I'm just making a joke.
And allegedly. These papers were intended for you, allegedly.
Either way, you are extorting favor from me with them. And I have yet to try to take them from you through force, or even coercion, or other foul means.
To be fair, you were sleeping and they were just kind of sitting there.
Well, because you were awake. I was hoping you would watch them.
Oh.
Oh no, he fell asleep quite early.
I don't know what it is. I was talking and then I was out.
I don't doubt that for a second. I bet you didn't even stop talking. I guarantee.
Come to
you
think of it, I didn't
sleep.
really. I feel kind of rude because I didn't really ask him about himself. I just kind of talked about us.
I bet he probably knows everything about us. Don't doubt that for a second.
So outside, we see Murphy sitting outside, and this nun comes walking by and is walking past you, Murphy. Headed towards the church.
A nun.
A nun. She's walking past you. She keeps walking past you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
There we go. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I had this fear of you going, she's got a cross around her neck and you see it.
I was waiting for that too, honestly.
Roll to punch a nun.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, she does not have a crucifix around her neck that you can see. And she's, and she, in English, she's like, yes, how can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. I think, ma'am. Anyways, do you call nun something different? I don't.
Sister?
Remember. Sister, thank you. Golly. Yes, ma'am. I have some friends inside. I think they're very clearly American, but their names are Emmett and Bruce. If possible, could you let them know that I am out here waiting for them?
And you say they're in the church?
Yes, ma'am.
I will check and see if they are in there.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
And she goes walking inside. We can come back into your guys' rambling bullshit, by the way.
How dare you? Anyway, if we don't really need anything other than rations, we got a few more bullets for our friend here. I think we're pretty gravy.
Well, I mean, outside the walls, food gets a little scarce. Ammo even more so. But I mean, I think we got about all that we are going to get before we need to head out. So,
And that same nun comes walking over to you and says, excuse me, are you Emmett and Bruce?
who's asking?
We sure are.
Oh my gosh!
Gentleman outside. He said he was waiting for you.
Oh, I bet you that was our friend Murph.
I believe he probably said his name was Murph.
Why, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Looks like our ride's here.
And she continues walking on.
Oh, you have a vehicle?
No, that was more of a figurative thing.
Oh. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, Murph's the one I was telling you that's kind of all crazy and you got to be careful about. So let's hit the market and head that way.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce, you want to tell that nun what my blood type is before we head out? I'd be positive he's going to tell everybody everything that they want to know.
Onto the market then.
Yeah, let's go gather up Murph and the last few pieces of him, and we'll head over to market and get some ration before we get out of here.
Could you remind me again on pricing on sustained and unsustained? I forgot to write that down. I couldn't find it
On
last time.
what and what?
For rations.
According to the book, it's in the equipment under gear and food and drink. The pricings here are $20 or 20 rounds per ration of field rations, 10 for domestic food rations, and 5 for wild. But wild food needs cooked. That's the difference between wild and domestic. But that's also by the book, and those prices might be different now. So don't go buying shit yet.
If we buy wild rations, does Emmett's thing apply to the cooking?
He's cooking it, and I think he gets the bonus if somebody in the party hunts it, or fishes it, or cooks it. Maybe.
I was just curious about the...
I think it applies in
specialty.
those 3 situations. Hunting, fishing, cooking, or scavenging.
Right, so if we buy wild rations, we can actually cook it ourselves, take the time, and get one more.
Right, but it also spoils after 1 week.
Oh. Act like we're going to live that long.
I'm just saying, like, that's the trade-off there, is if you are carrying around wild food, it spoils in a week. Which seems excessive. It seems like a long time.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. If it's mushrooms, or like potatoes.
I would say probably, this is still up to referee discretion, but I would say probably that wouldn't work because it actually says in the description, someone else in your group successfully forages, hunts, or fishes.
There you
Okay,
go. Yeah.
So not buys wild rations.
And I had just said that he has to cook to do that. Like,
Gotcha.
has to be involved in the
Gotcha.
process in some way.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious if it applied to
Because
the...
it doesn't make sense for the cook specialty to help if you're not cooking. you know?
Right.
I'm using the cook specialty, but I'm going to be over here asleep.
I have instructed them properly. They're like, yes, chef.
Heard.
Yeah, so, based on that, I would say no, then.
Okay.
But I will say that I did point out earlier in a side flash that he was adjusting the pricing on the food.
prices are... We're going to have to bargain, but that some of us have, bonuses to bargaining and shit like that, so...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, Murph does.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where were you when I
but
was buying food earlier?
His persuasion still sucks.
But you could, assist me?
I wasn't with you.
Ever? Oh, that's right. You were murdering people.
Yeah, he was either murdering people or sleeping back at the V-hole.
Classic Murph.
It's kind of like the 2 things Murph does.
Murder and sleep.
So what are you guys gonna do?
The market's right beside us, so we're gonna head on over to the market. My buddy Louette, my buddy Leroy, Jimmy.
Shit, did we name him? Yeah. I don't know if we did. I would have to listen back.
Frank.
So you're gonna go out front, meet up with Murph, and go to the market. All right. So we'll cut to you guys are coming out of the church, and you see Murph sitting over there on this little grassy knoll.
Hey, Murph, what hole did you crawl out of last night? I see well rested as ever. This British man to my right, I'll let you introduce yourself. This is Murph. This is Ellis.
Ellis Cornelius Edwards at your service.
Well, you're the Brit, huh?
I suppose. Unless there is another one. I'm sure there's many of us around. But
He told me that he ran into a Brit that's going to be tagging along, so good to meet you, Murph.
And you.
And why are you tagging along? I didn't get that.
Oh, you see, we've got information that he's supposed to get and that we're just holding on to until he becomes useful to us, and then Murph is going to give him said information that he was supposed to get in the first place, but the guy died and we found it.
Emmett's gonna give him the information. You said Murph.
Yes, the captain is extorting me to his own ends for information that was intended for me.
No, I have this envelope, and he says it belongs to him. Supposedly.
Where the fuck did you get this envelope?
Off
we
of a
were-
dead guy in an alley before Bruce goes ahead and tells you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather get the short version from you, Emmett. He talks way too much.
It was a cold, windy day. It's like this very heroic retelling.
So what's this envelope? What's this information that you have? And why do you need him?
It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's just locations on a map. But it seems to be of some importance to our friend Ellis here, who knows everything about us because of our friend Bruce here, because I had to sleep at some point in time.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Do you ever shut up?
No, he does not.
He's very quiet when he sleeps.
I doubt that. He is a walking, talking liability.
I don't know why y'all don't like to make friends.
So we cut to, and we see Bruce laying in the pew, right, with his head like leaned over on Ellis, and he's just like talking in his sleep the whole night. And we cut back out.
Murph, we're going to go pick up some rations for the long trip. We've got water all taken care of. How are you on ammunition, or is there anything you desire or need for your murdering quandaries?
Maybe I do like you a little bit.
Hey, see? But we're going to head on over to my buddy and see if we can find some rations.
If you can find some, I could use some rounds for the Dragunov.
Those cost 1 round apiece.
7.62 by 54.
It's just a trade. It's literally like trade these rounds for these rounds at that point.
But let's walk and talk. You don't talk as much.
Why is everybody all worried about me talking? You guys never cared before.
Emmett, I 2 questions. One, why do you need him?
Because he said he would help us. He is another living, breathing person who can hold a gun. And
Fair enough.
he seems to have some kind of information of what's going on this map. And we're headed north anyhow, so...
Just to meta, when you guys left the church, he you can see that he also has the Polish version of the Dragunov, the SWD, and he has a suppressed Uzi.
That's cool.
I was just wondering if he brought anything to the table, why you bring him along, but I got you.
Basically, he's free labor for this envelope that I found on a dead guy in an alley.
Because he's a PC.
He walks out carrying a sniper rifle and a suppressed Uzi and looks like he knows how to use them.
Right, and he's willing to work for the paper I found on a dead guy in an alley.
So in Murph's mind, the last time we made friends with people went really well for us.
Yeah, but this guy also has yet to offer to sell a child.
Also true.
But to be fair, I didn't ask him a lot of questions.
Murph's a little wary of strangers at the moment.
Wait.
That's
Hold
fair.
on.
That's fair.
You guys were with Valentine for what? Like 3 days?
3 or 4 days, yeah.
Okay,
something like that.
Farmer, right? Stanislav. Everyone at the village.
Recency bias.
Hell, even Jelko.
So what are you guys talking about on your walk to the market?
I want to ask Emmett about the papers that he found.
I mean, really, they just seem to be coordinates on the map. They just happen to be located out kind of more same direction that we're headed. I can't make any heads or tails of, if they mean anything or not. They're just kind of randomly throughout the countryside.
Can I take a look?
Yeah, be my guess.
Ellis is talking with Bruce, but also trying to eavesdrop.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
See, I used to teach at a college, and I was teaching fine arts, a little bit of sociology, things like that, just trying to get by.
Yeah, wait, you were teaching fine arts,
Yeah.
and you don't know what a cornice is?
Yeah, American fine arts.
Okay, they don't teach architectural history or any architecture, apparently, in fine arts.
I believe that was what we call an 8 a.m. class, sir, so no, I did not do well on that one.
A bit too early. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you want to talk about the statues and the Mona Lisa, stuff like that? The big ones. I can get you there.
Does any of that mean anything to you?
So he takes a look at it. Adam, am I getting anything from... Because I think the backstory with Murph is he was kind of pre-positioned, right?
Yes. The thing is, I mean, looking at it, it doesn't seem to be... what you see is like 3 different locations on the map that are kind of like marked, and they're all like what would be a few hexes away from each other, but they don't seem to be anything specific. Like, they're not like at a city, they're not necessarily, from what you knew, they're not anything strategically specific. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing about them other than they're just like 3 random locations on the map. And actually, let me move you guys over to the map.
And there's not like a reference point, right? To be like, okay, that would have been used for...
Nope. Yeah, no, it's just like 3 locations on the map. And let me move you all over to the map. Actually, I put 3 X's on the map of where those locations are. And you'll also notice another thing that says Hell on Wheels, the 2nd Armored Division. That's the location that is where LT saw the tank at the gas station.
Fuck, that's really far away from us.
Yeah, I said it was a ways up. For our audio-only listeners, anyone want to describe basically where we're talking about?
We are outside of Kalish. The tank is 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 hexes to the northeast.
It's
And,
2 north of, what's that, Ostrowicz?
Well, you're not at Kalish, you're in Krakow, which is further to the south.
Right, we're in Krakow, but the tank, the 2nd Armored Division is 2 hexes north of Ostrovich, I guess?
Yeah, that's close.
And then-
It's like a TS sound.
Yeah.
Ostrovich.
And then there's 3 hexes. The 3 X's are... One is 4 hexes north of Kalish. Another
30
one is,
kilometers southeast of Rodham. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
The X's you're talking about.
well,
now.
first, Kalish is about 10 hexes northeast of Krakow.
They
which
can
is
look it
where
up.
we are.
They can look that up.
Actually,
And then the tank is about 5 hexes northeast of Kalish.
And 10 plus 5 is 15.
Actually, Kalish is further. The actual Kalish, like where the Black Hawk helicopter and like kind of the main focal point of a lot of the history of Twilight 2000 is over here. This is Kalish.
Oh,
That
I
other
thought
one, you say it differently.
Kalish?
I thought that was Kalish. Oh,
No,
Kalish.
Kalish is further to the west still.
Khalees, like, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Okay, this one's like Kelsey. Travis Kelsey.
Kelsey.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Wow, we were
Kelsey.
way off. You know, we're just going to take a picture of this and put it on a thing.
Yeah, take a picture of that.
So that town of Kelsey is 10 hexes northeast, and then you've got the 3 hexes, 2 and 4 hexes around, and another
Basically
5
150
hexes.
kilometers northeast of where you all are is where the tank is. Yep.
And Bruce pointed that out on the map, I presume. So now we have the tank and where the X's are. God, that's a long fucking way. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, after Murph looks at that, and Bruce had put his little fingerprint on where the tank is, at least Murph says to Emmett, we could use that village or town maybe as a staging area and check the whole area out if we want to see what's on those X's. If we're even interested, like why is this Brit interested in those X's?
Well, I mean, that's why I kind of tend to keep him close and find out. I mean, like I said, my top priority is to to get eyes on the tank and see if we can't figure out where we're going from there. But the other marks on this map are in our general direction, so, it would be dumb not to at least keep that in mind as we head that direction.
So we cut back to the conversation going on between Ellis and LT.
So yeah, these two guys, they're hardcore military. They just kill people for fun, and they're really good shots. Me, I'm just kind of here, got kind of sucked up into all this stuff. So just, watch, just looking for people to drag me through this and keep me alive, kind of thing. But whereas they got missions and stuff.
I have no intention of dragging you through anything, but I do appreciate your conversation. It's a nice change of pace to have, something to take the time, as it were, as we travel.
Conversation, that I can do. I've been known to talk a few things, chit-chat here and then, so that's what I do.
And we cut away, and we see Ellis. He's actually at the bunker, and this other gentleman walks up to him. He says, hey, there you are. How have you been, Ellis?
Oh, quite fine. The wine selection here is not particularly well, but the beer is quite good. I would suggest a pint.
All right, I'll have to try that. And he waves over to the bartender, gives him I'll take one, and so I guess I found out a little bit more information about that research facility we were talking about before. I'm still not sure what they were working on there, but I do know that it was supposed to be wrapped up in the operation, that it was part of it. And we know that went to fucking shit, so...
It did go upside down, yes. Perhaps we could make our way there and reinforce the operation there and hopefully ascertain whether or not it has gone awry or assist in any way we can.
Yeah, I just know it was supposed to be some kind of component of it. I just don't know what it was. But I got a guy. He's got some information. I'll get that and I'll bring that to you.
Okay.
See what you think of it.
So we don't know exactly what they were researching there. Just that it was a research facility.
All I know is it's research, and in all honesty, it could be bullshit. So I don't know.
Perhaps this is our Camelot.
Perhaps. Maybe it's Camelot. Could also be a fool's errand. And we cut away. What is your guys' plan at the market?
All right, so my plan is to...
My friend!
Watch him roll his eyes as I come up and say, hey. Hey, buddy, remember me?
I do. Speed 2. Yes, of course. You have more friends.
More friends. Absolutely. And every one of my friends I gotta come and introduce to you, my friend. Think we may be heading a little bit out of town here, sir, so I think we might stock up a few things on our way out. And, of course, you're the first name I came across and said, we gotta go visit.
Of course. Unfortunately, due to import costs, the food prices have gone up slightly.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, but prices across the board have gone up. There's only so much I can do. And you can see on the chalkboard that it's basically double what it was before. So
wow,
it would be 20 for a daily ration.
That's a pretty good. That's pretty extreme. How are people supposed to eat?
It's what it is. There are ration chits for most people, but I know that you are probably, since you've been here quite frequently, I'm assuming you are on the, how do you say, down low? The slightly more secretive side of things. Maybe you are not getting ration chits?
Yeah, definitely. We are unofficial.
Right. So, there's only so much I can do, these are the costs, so.
Oh, I don't think I ever established whether Ellis counts or not as, a citizen.
Roll me a d6.
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay, no.
Okay.
Well, is there any kind of deal you could cut us on some walking rations? I have here my lever action 30-30 with about $250 here. 250 units, if you will.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Monies. 250 monies.
250 monies.
250 gil. And I'd like to see about, I have some, I still have some shotgun shells hanging around and some of these PSM reloads. I'd like to see if I could get some more bullets for this Dragunov, if that's possible.
I mean, that is not what I do per se, but I mean, you are more than welcome to trade with them on the bullets specifically. But I'm saying
he had a whole craft shop of everything.
No, I just deal with the food specifically, and this one copy of Speed 2, if you would like it.
A modern day classic.
GM, I have a question.
Yeah.
The trader specialty, can that be used as aiding him, or only if I'm doing the negotiating?
No. You could, if you were assisting, give him a bonus, but I mean, and even then, it's really just one person's doing it, and the bonuses kind of apply the way they apply with more people and whatnot. So, it's a long way around that. No.
So I couldn't sidle up next to him and be like,
yeah, he wouldn't get the bonus from that.
I mean, if your character would say, "Let me handle this," your character would say, "Let me handle this."
Then you'd be the one rolling it. Yeah.
You'd be.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So much like the cook thing for Emmett, only if you're the one doing the thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. So while he's doing his negotiating, Murph just lower in a low voice says, "Emmett, do you know, is this brick guy a spook? I get total spook vibes from him."
I mean, I've known him literally 15 minutes longer than you have, so.
Hey, Britt. Hey, Ellis.
Yes, Murph. Right, is it?
Yeah, it's Murph. You a spook?
A spook.
MI6, MI5.
Oh, were I those things, would I tell you?
I mean, I don't know. Would it still matter in this world?
How many things have changed?
A lot.
Ah, people are still people, are they not?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of just wondering what your skill set is.
I'm also curious of yours.
Sniper rifle gives it away a little bit.
Does it? Oh, I just found this thing. I picked it up along the road. I actually traded a terrible M16 for it. It was the sight was terrible. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it.
Somebody actually traded you a Dragunov for an M16 that had a bad sight.
Yeah. They were unaware of the bad sight, but I guess they had some nostalgia, or I had no further need of it, and I convinced them otherwise.
Fair enough. I was just curious.
Kyle, what exactly are you selling? Like, what was it you're trying to sell?
So I have a mag of 12 gauge, which is 5 rounds, 2 mags for the PSM, which is 16 rounds. So that would be 21 rounds. I was looking to do 2 mags of Dragunov, which would be 20 bullets, so 21 for 20, kind of a bullet exchange.
You can do that bullet exchange.
That's what I assumed. So I'd throw 2 more mags of Dragunov to Murph, and then I have $250. Well, okay, and I have the 30-06, which is worth $250. So I would just try to cash that out, take that money back to the food court, and haggle there.
Okay. So $250 at 20 rounds per daily ration, we'd be looking at 12 and a half daily rations, essentially.
Yeah.
So 12. So how are you trying to negotiate this? Like, what?
I would like to buy the 12 and see if he would throw us each one ready to eat now ration. So get 12 to go and 4 to eat now.
Okay, so 16 out of the 12, basically. So you're trying to get 16 for the 250, basically.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be at the higher value. They'd be, because like fresh food's less than the ready to walk, right?
So you're saying you want 12 domestic rations and 4 wild rations.
Cooked wild or whatever.
But domestic. It's still domestic. That would be
is
the
it?
difference between wild and domestic is cooked or not cooked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was looking to get 4 bonus domestic.
Okay. All right. So 16 total domestic rations for the 250 essentially. Okay. All right. Tell you what. Roll me a persuasion roll. I'm going to give you a +1 after I did all the back and forth. Actually, yes, a +1.
Okay. So it would be
+2.
B and a +2.
+2. Sorry.
That would be an A and a B.
Okay.
And
Did you duff it?
I duffed it. So the D12 got me a 1, and the
Nice.
D10 got me a 4. So
Do you want to push that roll? Because you can. So you're going back and forth with him. He's like, "There's at these prices. This is what they are. There's only so much I can do. I mean, my costs come up. I have to have food for my family, my kids, my dog, my wife.
please, my wife, take her. Yes, I will.
Take my wife, please."
I will take a point of stress, and I
You
will
look back and you see this woman standing there looking at him like, "What the hell?"
and I will.
You only
re-roll.
take the point of stress if you have a 1.
I do have a 1 on
He
that,
did.
so yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll it.
Nothing.
All right. Yeah, he's like, seriously, I've marked these up like tiny bits compared to like percentage wise. I didn't even go up as much as I should have.
All right, man. I spoke highly of you for you, and I thought he's gonna help us out. We're gonna be.
You and I are friends, and I'm sorry. If there was more I could do, I would, but I can't. I can't. There's nothing I can do in this. Times are tight, you know.
All right, 12 to go, and I'll take my 10 change.
What? No tip? Yeah, so he gives you the 12 rations to go. I mean, that's 3 days worth of food, so that's not too shabby.
It gets us on the road, it gets us fed, and it gets us the ability to hunt and not be up against it when we're hunting / foraging. That 10, I would go ahead and take it in essentially another maggot drag knob, and I'd put it in my own pocket.
Okay, all right. Did you get the rounds, Chris, that he also swapped out to give to you? How many was that?
2 mags.
2 mags?
2 mags.
Two more reloads on your Dragunov, Chris.
Awesome.
So, do we have 3 Dragunovs?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that- Okay.
Where's the third one?
Bruce has
Kyle
one.
has one.
Oh, okay.
Kyle has one. Jeremy has one, and you have one. And then Emmett has an M60.
Yeah.
Thank,
Yeah, so I have... Oh, and I still have a reload of 30-06. I'll just hold on to those as random bullets.
thank you, Bruce. Hopefully this will save your life sometime.
Again, I'm going to keep you well equipped if you watch my back, sir.
I mean, I could use another 10 rounds for my Dragunov.
All right. Too easy. So I'll go ahead and swap out that 30-06. Pop.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so what is your guys' plan now? We're looking at, it's like daytime. Like after you've gone around and sold the rifles and haggled a little bit with people and everything, we're in daytime. What do you guys want to do?
So Murph, what did Valentine, or what did whoever, not Valentine, but the other crazy leader guy that you were talking to, was he going to help us out? Do anything? Was he happy? Help us get out of here?
He was very pleased.
Pleased enough to like loan us a truck or a tank or a helicopter?
Pleased enough to get us, smuggle us out of this city. It's on lockdown now because of this fucking disease. So he's going to get us out, and then we're on our own.
Is this the same disease that farmer had back in the day?
One can only assume.
Gotcha. Well, I guess you're in charge. You lead us, and please don't take me back through another minefield.
I do believe we should take this disease seriously, from what I have heard.
Oh, we've seen its effects. Unfortunately. Right, Emmett?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it burn up the better half of a dozen people. So, I don't know what the disease does, but I know what the cure is.
You're talking about when they tried to light y'all on fire, right?
Yes, Mr. Ellis. Apparently these blue truck people who oddly resemble the UN, which is disconcerting.
No, it's actually the World Health Organization.
Worse.
The WHO, if you will.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Oh, you don't like Pinball Wizard, Tommy? No?
No, they firebombed a village we were in because they thought that the disease was in the village.
They're taking extreme measures for an extremely terrible plague.
I knew it wasn't Doctors Without Borders. Oh, well.
I'm assuming you all are talking about this while you're walking somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on our way. This is not like standing in the market.
Okay, well, that's why I was curious, like, where are you guys going to?
Murph is leading us to our smuggler.
The bunker? Okay.
Yeah, wherever we're supposed to meet up with whoever.
All right,
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
move your guys' token to where you're going, and I'm going to assume Murph roll me the recon roll.
Captain, you're in charge.
Well, I mean, it depends if it's better or worse. Because if it's worse when we're moving, it's.
I just meant for moving the token.
I already got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's
Good
still
job,
Kyle
Lieutenant.
for worse.
I'm assuming Murphy has the best, like, passive recon.
I would assume so, but I don't know what the Englishman over here has.
No, I'm pretty sure Murph's is better. Murph, you got like an A and a A or some shit, don't you?
B and an A.
A B and an A?
Yeah, I don't know, Adam, if is there a +1 for train or any of that?
No, because this is the passive noticing things.
I got you. 8 and a 9.
Okay. All right. As you're going along, you actually see another one of those groups of the working parties that's being, like, escorted out towards the checkpoint, like being taken out of the city for the farmlands or whatever you're assuming. But they're in, like, the gas trucks, and, you know, they got the tank out ahead of them. And I'm going to assume you guys are going to try to just remain unnoticed to them.
Yes.
So that they don't see y'all. Kyle, I'm assuming you have the lowest still. Give yourself a +1.
Yes.
Murph's like, hold up, let's get in this building.
2 successes.
Nice.
Do you want to push that roll?
Can you push that roll?
He can. He can re-roll the one that's nothing was on it.
Maybe he had a success on one or a success on the other. We don't know. Kyle knows.
That is true. I can see it, I guess.
I had 2 successes on the standard one.
It was a 10 and a 2. So, yes, he could re-roll the other dice. For everybody who can't see this.
Yes, I will re-roll that die.
The D8.
Yep. And I got a 4. So still just 2 successes.
Okay, yep. You guys kind of duck inside a building, and that little caravan kind of rolls past y'all and doesn't seem to notice you. And you guys can keep going. So someone move your guys' token.
I mean, basically, we're going to be, close to the buildings on one side of. If we're off the
Yeah,
the
that
road.
hex is 200 meters, so it's somewhere within that 200 meter hex.
Yeah, I'm just saying we're not walking down the middle of the fucking street. We're, hugging the building.
It's a city.
To be fair, Bruce was trying to walk down the middle of the street.
All right, roll me a recon roll.
10's wild. 2 10s.
Dang.
Damn.
Yeah, actually, nothing on the encounter card. Okay. All right, so you guys arrive at the outskirts of the bunker, the checkpoints. Seems pretty calm. You did see some, occasional random people not milling about so much as you were walking there, but everyone's kind of like pretty preoccupied at the moment and doesn't really seem to be focusing much on y'all until you get to the bunker and you get to that those checkpoints outside of that. And as you come out into that clearing, one of them comes up and approaches you, And he's like, the club is closed right now. Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, if you don't mind, I have business with Mr. Jelko. If you could tell him that Murph or Lestat is here, he'll know what you mean.
Yes, hold on. And he like looks over at those other guys with him and says something to him in Polish, and you kind of pick out the word Lestat in that. Jeremy, does your character speak Polish?
No.
Okay. And the other guy goes walking towards the bunker. He looks back over. He's like, "You were the one who came yesterday. Are you not the one who was asking about or brought up the sniper from the night before?"
Yes.
Listening back while editing, the GM realized that that was a very suspicious thing to say to someone at the scene of a crime.
Oh, yeah. Suspicious as fuck.
And I was like, man, I really let him get away with that one.
But it was intentional, right? Because I wanted, in my head, them to know that I knew who did it.
Right. Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. Imagine this scenario, right? Imagine somebody just got shot, right?
Your buddy.
They're not sure who it was, but somebody, like your buddy. And then somebody else comes up and is like, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that sniper anymore." It's like... Also, those are good sniper locations there and there and there. I realized, listening back, I was pretty, like, ignorantly benevolent.
Yeah, and the body's still warm.
The idea in my head was for him to be like brash and forward, like a badass, right? Like somebody that Jelko, like that they would respect. It was all like a front, but just like,
right.
You know.
Yeah. No, I know.
It wasn't a front.
I'm just saying, like, I was thinking about it from like if it was law enforcement, you know what I mean? Like, they'd
Just
be
an
like,
FYI, if I was going to shoot your friend in the head, I would have done it from there,
from there,
or there,
right?
possibly over there.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the idea, right? Hey, in the future, you should check those spots.
Right. I
So I don't shoot another one of your friends when I have the chance to. From there,
that's
or
exactly,
there, or
like,
right
listening
there.
back, I was like, man, I reacted poorly to that.
I had like a bad an image of a bad action movie of what like the hero or the bad guy does when he goes in, you know?
No, I know. I'm just putting this out there as a PSA to anyone. If you see people investigating a shooting, don't go up and tell the cops where a good place to shoot from is.
Don't tell the cops how you would do it.
Unless you really want to be on a list.
It's like OJ's book, How I Would Have Done It.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it, but if I did...
But the idea was it would get their attention and get me into Joko.
It would, but I'm just saying, realistically, I played that out poorly, and what it would have got you was thrown on the ground, like in a real situation.
And interrogation.
And that was a known possibility in my head, but I thought either way it would get me to Joko.
Or in the grave.
Yeah, maybe.
Just saying, grassy knoll, about that terrible place to take a shot from.
It should have been over there.
Bringing it back.
Oh, man. All right, so the other guy comes walking back that went in and checked for Jelko, and he comes back and he's like, he said he can see you. He's there. Follow me. Unload your weapons, though.
No problem. I appreciate it.
Ellis has been here before. He's already...
Yeah. All right, so you guys go walking up, and you get to the bunker, and they let you all in. And as soon as you go in, you see that big guy with that has, been in lots of fights, and you can tell from the scars and the, bandages that he has, and like his nose has like a piece of fucking tape on it. Not medical tape, it's probably like duct tape holding his broken nose together. And he's like, "Come with me. Jelko will see you now." And he escorts you guys downstairs into Jelko's office. And Jelko's sitting there at his desk, and this other person standing off to his right-hand side is like, "So, the start, you and your friends are, I'm assuming you're here to get out of the city now?"
Yeah, it's time to get out of Dodge.
So who are your friends?
This guy here, big guy Emmett, been with me from the start here. I can't believe he hasn't even introduced himself already. He can't stop talking. This is Bruce.
Pleasure to meet you.
And this is the Brit over here.
Nice to meet you, the Brit.
Yes, my name is Ellis, at your service.
Nice to meet you then, Ellis. All right. Well, if you will follow me, I can. We can get you to your transportation. Should be leaving here shortly in a few hours. And he gestures back behind him to the painting, and that other person that's off to his right steps back and grabs the side of the painting and slides it to the side, and you see a door behind the painting. He's like, "Come with me, I'll show you." Not many people see this, but... So he opens up the door, and as you guys walk past through the door, you see a whole other room that's just full of artwork, right? And some of it's Renaissance paintings and, from different eras, right? And it's where the fuck did he get all these paintings from, right? You just see paintings and sculptures and stuff like that. And it's all right, for this next part though, yeah, I mean, this is my artwork, but I just kind of wanted to show this off because not a lot of people get to see this. But for this next part, I'll need you all to wear blindfolds, though, if you don't mind.
No shit, Jelko. All that time in your office and not a clue this was here.
Nope. It's actually on the map, too. I could reveal it, but it's irrelevant to the storyline. So he hands you guys blindfolds and...
Told you there was a second way out of here, Bruce.
Basically bags. He's going to put bags over your guys' heads, essentially, so that you can't see. And you hear a creak of another door open. And then he's like, "Be careful, because these are steps." And you start walking down steps. Dunk, 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 dunk. And the air gets kind of cooler. And
I was at a fancy dress one time that was much like this.
There's a smell in the air that's fucking a little bit on the rancid side, a little bit on the shit smell side. And they start taking the hoods off of you, and you see this raft, basically, and you're in a sewer system, right? And there's these barrels sitting on the edge, and some of them are on the raft, and some of them are on the edge of the sewer, the walkway on the side of it. And he's like, "So here is the plan. I'm going to smuggle you out of the city in these barrels. These are taken to the monastery where I get the beer from. But to get you past the checkpoints, I will need you to be concealed."
I'm sorry, are there dwarves in a hobbit here? We are grown men.
Yes, and these are quite large barrels.
No, yes, I understand that, but,
This is how I smuggle things in and out of the city.
a Tolkien fan, I see.
Who?
Never mind.